My name is Semone Ketema. I'm an overcomer. I was born in Ethiopia on October the 18th, 1988. And at the age of 9 months, I started having seizures. And by the time I was 12 months, it progressed to 12-hour seizures, where I almost died at the age of 1. And my family gathered to basically see me die, thinking that I was just going to pass away. But it was by God's purpose that He delivered me from the wages of death, from me passing away. And at the age of 3 years old, I came here to America due to medical reasons to see what the doctors here could do to curing my seizures that were continuing, and stroke that I had. But when I got here, they said I had to have a brain operation that would take 12 to 24 hours to complete. And the brain surgery was successful, and afterwards they put me on seizure medications called Tegretol, which was 1,500 milligrams that I had to take a day, and because they thought it was going to come back. And by the time I hit 3rd grade, they said that the medicine wasn't doing its job like it was supposed to. So they slowly took me off the medication, and it felt good being off the medicine. It's been 16 years since I've taken any seizure medications, and it's been 18 years since I've had a seizure. And when I grew up with the left side of my body not functioning correctly, and when I joined a youth group called 212, there was a conference that they did during spring break, which was called Ignite, and I went to Ignite for roughly 9 years. But earlier on, before, I experienced something that I didn't know was going to happen to me at Ignite. But by the time I was a senior in high school, somebody walked up to me the 3rd day of Ignite, and he told me that he had a dream about me before Ignite, and he asked me what was going on, and more particularly with my left hand. And I told her what had happened to me back in Ethiopia and everything, and she started praying for me. In the midst of her praying for me, there were like 8 other people who also wanted to pray for me. And in that midst of prayer, God just told me that to let go of all my past hurts, my past anger, my past everything, because He just wanted to heal me, and He wanted me to have more faith in Him, and that He could. And in the midst of them praying, I felt intense of heat going through my left arm, and it felt like something was building up strength in my left arm, which I thought couldn't. And after they finished praying, I gave one of my friends, Gabriel Graves, a bear hug, and what I felt, it was so amazing, because I felt strength, and I actually could lift him up with actually me holding him tightly with strength with both hands instead of just using my right hand. And after Ignite, I went back to school with so much joy and so much happiness that I didn't know how to express it. And I graduated from high school in 2007, even though they asked me to stay back to just get a regular high school diploma, which meant I would have to stay in high school for 4 more years instead of graduating the actual year that I wanted to graduate. And I graduated and I continued on with my life, which meant I went to a school called Roosevelt Warm Spring Institute for Rehabilitation, which was a school for people who had disabilities to help them get better, further job experience to take into the workplace so that they can accomplish the kind of task that they need to accomplish with them having a disability. And I graduated from there the end of 2008 with the experiences that I needed and the things that I accomplished while I was there. Being there, I learned so much about my disability, which helped me to basically help other people who have disability, to show them how to that they can accomplish their goals and their dreams. Even having a disability, even though having a disability, it might take longer than regular people who don't have disabilities, and it actually would take longer, but they'll accomplish their goals slowly, but in a more in a more peaceful way that it will make the goal that they're trying to accomplish more sweeter and more joyous that they accomplish that goal, and knowing that they don't have to give up on their own dreams that they really wanted to accomplish. And when I started that program, I started my journey on my GED, and after leaving there, I continued my journey with my GED, trying to obtain my GED at a school called DeKalb Technical College in the adult education program. I obtained my GED on May 5th, 2012. And a few years back, I experienced healing at a conference called Jesus Culture. And the first day of the conference, somebody walked up to me and said, "Can I pray for you?" And I'm like saying, "Yeah, whatever, you can do that." And it continued on during morning session and night session, where the last day of the conference, I just gave in because we were at the mall evangelizing, and we broke up in groups of 4, and we went different places and like that. Some people rejected us to praying for them. Some people were willing. And while we were walking back to leave, this guy stopped me, thinking that I was limping, trying to joke around, trying to have somebody pray for me, where I told him, "No, this is how I walked for 20 years of my life." And I told him, he asked to pray for me. I said, "Yeah, go ahead, do what you gotta do." But I didn't know at that point that God was having something, he was doing something in my body. And while he was praying, I felt power going through my left leg. And after finishing his prayer, he just told me to walk straight forward. And after walking about 10 feet, I realized that the pain that I had in my left leg went down from a 9 back down to a 0. And the terrible limping that I had went down from a 9 down to a 1. he told me to take off the brace in the mall and put my shoe back on and walk around the kids' playground. And it was the same. Like, me not having the brace felt like it was weird, but like it felt like my leg was naked. And I was walking back to the other end of the mall, and with the brace in my head and people's mouths dropping, like, no way, this can't be. And to this day, I have that brace polished and cleaned in a glass case at home, showing the greatest barrier that I have overcome. And it just feels so sweet. And now I'm showing other people who have disabilities that they can overcome everything that they're trying to accomplish, but by and showing them that if they have faith and if they have the will and the joy to accomplish that goal, that they can do it with God's help and His guidance and Him protecting them in the midst of them accomplishing that goal.